G'day everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we're going to do the history of baseball. I know nothing about baseball. You hit it and you run around some bases. That's probably pretty much it. So let's jump in. Let's have a look at the history of baseball from humble beginnings to America's pastime. All right, let's have a look at this one.
Have you ever wondered about the history of baseball? There are few things more American than baseball. It's right up there with apple pie, fireworks on the 4th of July, and arguing with the umpire from the safety of your couch. But how did this strange game of bats, balls, and bases become the revered national pastime? Like any great American story, baseball's history is filled with colorful characters, heated rivalries, and a few scandals to keep things interesting. So grab a hot dog and a foam finger, and let's take a wild, sometimes funny, and occasionally confusing journey through the history of baseball. I'm Keith, and this is History Wonder. Ask most Americans who invented baseball, and they'll confidently tell you it was Abner Doubleday in 1839. That's a neat and tidy origin story, except for one small problem. It's probably not true. Doubleday, a Civil War hero, likely never had anything to do with baseball. In fact, he was busy with cannons and forts while baseball was already being played in America. The myth that he created the sport was cooked up in the early 20th century by baseball officials desperate for a single founding father to market to the masses. It's as if...
I thought baseball was based on, pardon the pun, on rounders from England. Is that right? I don't know. I've never heard of Doubleday either.
Officials desperate for a single founding father to market to the masses. It's as if they were saying, come on, every great nation needs its George Washington, right? The truth is, baseball's origins are a bit murkier. Variations of bat and ball games have been around for centuries, and baseball is likely a descendant of the English game of rounders, or possibly even cricket. Cue the gasps of...
See, cricket. Nobody likes cricket, but you wouldn't have baseball without it, apparently. Maybe.
A descendant of the English game of rounders, or possibly even cricket. Cue the gasps of disbelief from patriotic baseball fans. In colonial America, early forms of baseball were known as town ball, or simply baseball, and were played in schoolyards and pastures. By the mid-19th century, baseball was starting to take a more recognizable shape. A man named Alexander Cartwright helped formalize the rules in 1845, and his Knickerbocker Baseball Club played the first officially recorded game in 1846. Spoiler alert, the Knickerbockers lost, but Cartwright's rules stuck. The game quickly spread in popularity, especially in the Northeast. The humble beginnings of baseball soon gave way to an explosion of teams, leagues, and heated debates about how many peanuts one person should be allowed to consume during a game. The Civil War might have been one of the most divisive periods in U.S. history, but it did wonders for spreading the love of baseball. Soldiers from both the Union and Confederate armies played the game to pass the time between battles, or at least when they weren't digging trenches. As soldiers traveled around the country, they took their favorite pastime with them, and baseball quickly became a unifying force, an odd contrast to the fact that these same guys were fighting each other during the day. After the war, baseball fever gripped the nation. By the late 1860s, baseball clubs were sprouting up all over, and many were transitioning from amateur clubs to professional teams. In 1869, the Cincinnati Red Stockings became the first fully professional baseball team, meaning that for the first time, players were actually paid to hit a ball with a stick. The Red Stockings went on an epic road trip across the country, winning...
Are they now the Red Sox? Did they change their name to Red Sox? I don't know. Red Stockings just doesn't have the same ring to it, I think, maybe.
...to hit a ball with a stick. The Red Stockings went on an epic road trip across the country, winning 57 straight games and laying the foundation for what would soon become professional baseball as we know it. In 1876, the National League was born, marking the beginning of Major League Baseball, MLB. The early days were anything but glamorous. Players often brawled on the field, fans hurled insults and the occasional tomato, and team owners were often more interested in profits than fair play. But despite its rough edges, baseball was quickly becoming the entertainment of choice for America's working class. This era of baseball is known as the dead ball era, roughly 1900 to 1919, named for the fact that baseballs were cheap, dirty, and rarely replaced during games, making it incredibly difficult to hit home runs. Instead, games were all about pitching, defense, and bunts, lots and lots of bunts. Star players of the time, like Ty Cobb, were more likely to steal bases or slide spikes up into an opponent than knock the ball out of the park. Cobb, by the way, was as famous for his nasty personality as he was for his skill. Think of him as the Darth Vader of early baseball. This gritty, small ball style didn't stop fans from flocking to games. Baseball's early stars became household names, and the game solidified its status as the national pastime. But everything changed in 1920 when a man named George Herman Babe Ruth swung a bat and sent the sport into orbit, literally. Before Babe Ruth, baseball was a game of low scores and tactical maneuvers. After Babe Ruth, it was all about dingers. Ruth...
So he actually had that, because I obviously heard of Babe Ruth, who hasn't? I just thought, he was a good player. I didn't know he kind of influenced the game that much, where before that, most of the runs was, stolen bases and bunts, and obviously there might have been the odd hit here and there, but man, okay. So he's actually just come in and said, hey, look, you know what? I've got a better way to play this. Interesting.
Game of low scores and tactical maneuvers.
Okay.
After Babe Ruth, it was all about dingers. Ruth, who started his career as a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, was sold to the New York Yankees in 1919.
Okay.
Yes, you read that right. Sold, not traded. The Red Sox owner needed cash to fund a Broadway play, not making this up, and thus, baseball's most famous rivalry was born. Ruth's arrival in New York changed the game forever. He wasn't just hitting home runs, he was blasting them. By the end of his career, he had 714 of them, a record that stood for decades. Ruth's larger-than-life personality and prodigious power at the plate made him a national hero and baseball's first true superstar. Fans flocked to ballparks to watch the Sultan of Swat send balls soaring over the fences, and baseball entered its golden age. The 1920s were roaring not just because of jazz and flapper dresses, but because Babe Ruth was slugging his way into the record books. The 20s also marked the rise of the Yankees as a baseball dynasty. Thanks to Ruth and later legends like Lou Gehrig, the Yankees became the most dominant force in baseball. While that...
that's who... Okay. So I knew there was a disease named after him. Okay, because obviously highlighted it. Okay. I've never seen a picture of him before. Okay.
And later legends like Lou Gehrig, the Yankees became the most dominant force in baseball. While that thrilled fans in the Bronx, it also kicked off decades of misery for fans of teams like the Red Sox and Cubs. But hey, at least the Great Depression was just around the corner to keep things interesting, right? Of course, baseball hasn't always been sunshine, hot dogs, and home runs. One of the sport's darkest moments came in 1919 with the infamous Black Sox scandal. 8 players from the Chicago White Sox were accused of deliberately losing the World Series in exchange for money from gamblers. While the scandal rocked the sport and led to the lifetime ban of the players involved, it also led to the creation of the Commissioner of Baseball, who helped clean up the game's image. If there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that people will still pay to watch games, even if they think they're rigged. Fast forward to 1947 and another historic moment. Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color barrier by joining the Brooklyn Dodgers. Up until then, the sport had been segregated, with African American players restricted to the Negro Leagues. Robinson's entry into Major League Baseball was met with both admiration and intense racism, but his incredible skill and perseverance changed the game and society forever. The integration of baseball was a watershed moment, and Robinson paved the way for future stars like Hank Aaron and Willie Mays, who would become legends in their own right.
Okay.
After World War II, baseball entered another golden era. With the war over and prosperity on the rise, America's love affair with the game deepened. Ballparks filled with fans and legends like Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, and Stan Musial became household names. Television broadcasts also began, allowing fans to follow their favorite teams from the comfort of their living rooms, something unimaginable just a few decades earlier. By the 1960s, baseball was booming, and so were the number of teams. The league expanded, adding new franchises across the country, including places like Houston and Atlanta. With expansion came more teams, more ballparks, and a rise in talent from around the world, including stars from Latin America and Asia who helped globalize the game. The 70s saw the introduction of free agency, allowing players to negotiate contracts with different teams. Before this, players were basically tied to one team for life, no matter how badly they were treated or underpaid. Free agency allowed players like Reggie Jackson and Nolan Ryan to seek massive contracts, forever altering the business side of baseball. Some old school fans grumbled about players chasing the money, but hey, wouldn't you switch jobs if someone offered you millions to hit a ball?
Yep.
The 1990s ushered in the steroid era, a controversial chapter in baseball history. Players were bulking up, home runs were soaring, and fans were packing stadiums, but something wasn't quite right. Rumors of performance-enhancing drugs swirled, and eventually, stars like Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and Barry Bonds found themselves under the microscope. Bonds broke the all-time home run record, but the cloud of steroid use cast a shadow over the accomplishment. Today, debates still rage about how this era should be viewed, but there's no denying the home run derbies of the late 90s were entertaining, to say the least. As we roll into the 21st century, baseball is still America's pastime, but it's also a game in constant evolution. Analytics, once confined to the brains of nerdy statisticians, have become a key part of how teams build rosters and approach games. Moneyball may have once seemed like a fad, but today, teams use advanced metrics to track everything from a player's launch angle to the velocity of their throws. It's like baseball got a PhD in math and never stopped talking about it. Yet, through it all, the heart of baseball remains the same. It's a game of skill, strategy, and the occasional lucky bounce. Whether you're at a little league field or a major league stadium, the crack of the bat and the roar of the crowd evoke the same excitement that has made baseball beloved for over a century. The history of baseball is as sprawling, quirky, and captivating as the game itself. From its mysterious origins to the steroid scandals, from Babe Ruth's towering home runs to the rise of analytics, baseball has grown and adapted while staying true to its roots. It's a sport that brings together people from all walks of life, whether you're a die-hard fan tracking every stat or a casual observer just enjoying a sunny day at the ballpark. As long as there are summer nights, peanuts in hand, and a game to be played, baseball will continue to be a vital part of American culture. Thanks for watching. What topics in history have you wondered about? Comment below and let us know what videos you would like to see, and be sure to like and subscribe.
So that was very interesting. It's interesting where, you know, they say, oh, it's this one person, you know, that invented baseball. But really, did he? Did he really? I kind of like that a little bit more mystery to it as well, too. Where did it come from? I don't know. It's kind of always been there. We've just, recognized it. But that was interesting. Interesting when, I've obviously heard of Babe Ruth before, but I didn't realize he had that much of an impact. I just thought, he's a good player, popular, whatever. But I didn't realize, almost changed, the whole shape of the game, the whole way it's played. Like the first time they started doing, forward passes in American football, just that little bit of change can change the whole game, the way it's played, the way it's, looks. And then going on from there, it just changes everything. So it just takes that little one spark, that one person that comes along with a different idea. You never know what it's going to be as well, too. So, but that was very interesting. Like I said, I don't know anything about baseball. I've seen some clips. We've done some clips on a live stream before. I can't even remember what was a Japanese player? Whatever it was, I'm pretty sure it was a Japanese player. I think his name started with O. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comment section. But he was batting and then he was pitching as well. He looked like a fantastic player. So, like I tell you, I don't know anything about baseball at all. I've never watched a full game. I've probably watched maybe 5 minutes of clips in my whole life. So, but I found that very interesting. The story of baseball. Obviously, that is a very basic storytelling. The era's kind of skipping over all the eras and stuff like that. But the steroid era, that's a weird one, isn't it? That's very weird. A lot of obviously home runs, but I mean, you can't really have people just kind of taking so much of that stuff that, it's not their true talent, it's all enhanced as well. Very weird era, that one sounds like. But overall, interesting video. Let me know if you enjoyed that one, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure you stay safe, and I'll definitely see you in the next reaction video. Oh, you're still here? You want more content? Why don't you check out my Patreon down here? You'll get plenty more content and some exclusive videos over there too. If not, why not check out this one over here?